sleeper defenses heading into week one of the fantasy football season that I think you could start and play this week. The first defense is the Los Angeles Chargers. So the Chargers, they travel to Washington this week. I know a coastal game on the other side here, but I think the Chargers, they can make a few plays. This Washington offense, they got some weapons on it, but they also got Ryan Fitzpatrick on this team, who's obviously a gunslinger and a guy who's due for a few turnovers here and there, where he could easily throw one or two those and possibly one to the end zone here. And obviously a guy that takes a lot of sacks throughout his career. So the Chargers, they got Joey Bosa still, who can make plays on defense. And I think in this ball game, he's going to get pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick early and often. And like I said, Fitzpatrick throughout his career, he's been turnover prone. And in this game, I could see the Chargers getting a few turnovers, getting a few sacks. And like I said, finding the end zone possibly as well. So right now, this week, I didn't rank them in my top 12 defenses of the week. But right here, I think the Chargers could get the job done and make a play or two here and put up double-digit fantasy points this week. And right now, if you need a defense or you're in a pinch, they're available right now, this Charger D. Still in 67% of fantasy leagues. And I have them as a sleeper. The next defense is the New York Giants. So the Giants, their defense towards the end of the season last year really showed up and played some big ball games. And right now they're available in 95% of fantasy leagues. And this week the Denver Broncos come to town. Coming from the other side as well is Denver here. So that's a long travel. And right here, Teddy Bridgewater is the quarterback to this Bronco team. The Broncos, I know they got two decent receivers in Cortland Sutton and Judy, but Teddy Bridgewater, he's a guy that easily could turn the ball over. And this Denver offensive line, I don't think is that stout as well. So I could see the Giants having a decent day sacking Bridgewater, and I could see him getting a couple turnovers as well in this ball game. And right here, I could see a double-digit ball game and a tight ball game as that. I could see a low 20 scoring game from both teams, where this ball game comes down to a field goal or something. So right here, I think the Giants are a decent option this week versus the Denver Broncos. Home opener, and obviously week one. And I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to do much versus this Giant defense. And I think the Giants are going to make plays, and definitely a defensive sleeper this week. And the final defense I have as a sleeper this week is the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers travel to New Orleans versus Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints. And the Saints here, it's going to be a tough time for them, in my opinion, this season, especially in the early going. No more Drew Brees back there, quarterback. I know Winston, he could get the ball down the field and make a few plays, but talk about a turnover-prone quarterback. Winston is the definition of that after a few seasons ago, where he started with the Bucs 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in that year. So that was a crazy year for Winston. And right here, he's without his number one wide receiver in Michael Thomas, who's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. And this Green Bay Packer team, they could definitely make plays on defense. It's another indoor game where I think they're going to be flying around, trying to get Winston early and often. And there's just not many weapons at this time over there in New Orleans. There's not really a threat, in my opinion, besides Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. And if they can make Jameis Winston and this Saint team one-dimensional, if they get off to a quick start, is the Packer offense. I think their defense is going to be feasting and have a pretty big day there on the defensive end. And they were also available in 81% of fantasy leagues. So that's a few defenses I have as sleepers here heading into week one of the fantasy football season.